Ladies and gentlemen, you're about to see The Naked City. I'm Burt Leonard, the producer. This story was not photographed in a studio. Quite the contrary. The actors played out their roles in the streets and the buildings of New York itself. In the naked city, where buildings die as inevitably as people, there still exists one small patch of privately owned townhouses, Sutton Place, one of New York's most exclusive neighborhoods, where luxury and security have come to be the expected way of life. This is the story of how the unexpected was brought to Sutton Place, suddenly and savagely, one morning in October.
Police Department.
The police, sir. I take it from your phone call you want to discuss this grenade business.
Well, not exactly, Mr. Staver.
My son, gentlemen. Bobby? Lieutenant Muldoon? Detective Howard.
Yes, he called us this morning. About that letter, Mr. Staver, may I see it? $10,000 apiece from each of 25 families in Sutton Place, $250,000. And the extortionist seems to single you out for special attention, Mr. Staver. The grenade on your doorstep yesterday and this letter this morning, picking you to collect the money from the others. We're grateful to your son Bobby here for calling us, especially since you didn't.
I get all kinds of letters, Lieutenant. I usually don't call the police about them.
And do you usually get grenades with your mail, Mr. Staver? We have a plan. It'll require your help.
In the course of a lifetime, I've been shot at, come at with knives, hit from behind with chairs and hat racks. And I always walked away. That's the way it is with me. I'm the kind of a guy that doesn't like to duck. I'll take my lumps. But when I come off the mat, brother, watch out.
Well, this doesn't concern just you, Mr. Staver. It concerns other families, too. All of them figuratively at gunpoint. Next time, not just a door, but a life may be cut down.
Look, Mr. Staver, all he wants you to do is to go through the motions of collecting the money from the threatened families. Then place an ad in the personal columns of the Times saying you've got the money together.
It's a 15-cent bus ride from Mulberry Street to Sutton Place. Maybe 30 minutes. The traffic's not heavy. It took me 30 years to get up here. 30 rugged years. You suppose somebody could sit down in a dark room and write me a letter? Expect me to fall down on my knees and pay him off? Sorry.
We're not suggesting the extortionist be paid off except with a long jail sentence. If we're ever to catch him, we have to make him think his threat's working. We're simply asking you to follow out the instructions in that letter.
Look, Lieutenant. Go solve all the unsolved crimes in your files. Bring back the dead men the police couldn't protect. The witnesses that cooperated and ended up in vacant lots. Go ahead. Go ahead and show me how great you operate, and then maybe I'll see things your way. Meantime, I'll handle it my way.
Dad!
Keep out of it, boy.
I'll tell you something, Staver. I've been pulled into dark alleys in my time, too. But I learned one thing. Nobody can ever duck responsibility and get away with it.
Check me on this, Julio. You still owe me a favor?
Name it.
This doesn't come under the heading of your legitimate enterprises. This job calls for muscle.
But Eddie, of course I own a few parking lots and this little business here. You think I'd let my muscles go?
Somebody dropped a grenade on my front doorstep yesterday morning. And a note. They want 10 grand.
Who don't? What for?
So next time they shouldn't drop a grenade in my back pocket.
Tell me who it is. If he's got a wife, she already had her last breakfast with him.
I don't know who it is.
Okay. So maybe that gives that guy another 3-minute egg to eat tomorrow. We'll find him inside a day, maybe 2. I thought you was going to ask me something tough.
Get him off our back. Just so we don't worry Bobby. He comes after Bobby, I'll hunt him down myself and I'll tear him apart. I'm counting on this, Julio.
Go sleep on 3 pillows, Eddie. It's already done.
Mr. Staver. Did you see the Times this morning? It carries an ad in the personal column telling our extortionist the money's ready.
Lieutenant, I told you.
No doubt you'll get a call from him. Take the call. Lead him on. Let him think you're playing ball with him.
No deal.
Did you hear about the meeting your neighbors held last night?
My son attended. He gave me the fill-in.
These other families are frightened. They need leadership.
Well, give it to them.
We're doing our best. We have the area on 24-hour stakeout.
Will you just make sure that your stakeout's effective, Lieutenant?
That's not going to flush him out, Mr. Staver. We've got to attract him out. We need your help. It's just that simple.
Well, let's just say I don't see it your way. Okay?
Man on the phone, sir. He says he read your ad in the Times. He insists he's talked to you.
This is Staber. Now listen, you, whoever you are. Get out of town and get out of town fast. Evaporate yourself. Because if you're still in New York tonight, you're a dead man. Maybe we'll have a little peace and quiet around here now.
Are you out of your mind? You threatening him?
Bobby, force has 2 edges. From where I'm standing, my edge is sharper than his. Come on, boy. Let's finish our coffee.
Suppose you know what you've just done.
Sure.
You just signed a death warrant.
Look, I warned him, that's all. If he doesn't listen, it's his funeral.
Not his.
I get back on the scale, the face as heavy as yours. Doc could never let me off my diet. You still sore at me because I told the cops to go jump?
You remember Judy Lane?
Yeah. Fine girl. You know, Bobby, in 2 or 3 years, I wouldn't mind seeing you take her out. Never know. Might make you a fine wife. Our old man's not much. He's rich. He's got a handshake like a melted cheeseburger. But I guess you have to take the good with the bad, huh, boy?
He threw acid in her face.
Who? What are you talking about?
The extortionist, the man you hung up on. Face will be scarred for the rest of her life. You let it happen.
I let it happen.
It wouldn't have if you'd have thrown in with everyone else. Not always tried to play it your way.
Now, wait a minute, Bobby. Let's get this straight. Nobody's to blame here but the police. It's their job. They're supposed to have men placed all over Sutton Place.
I warned you. You didn't have to make it worse. You didn't have to threaten him, egg him on, hang up on him.
I said I'd handle it my way.
Your way. Boy, am I sick of hearing that. You just naturally try to find the clever way. The mighty Eddie Staber, proving his superiority.
Go ahead, kid. Get it off your chest.
Just one more crisis to measure yourself against, isn't it? Isn't there anything you can't face? Anything that just makes you want to get down on your knees and just cry? Or have you forgotten how to cry?
There are a few things I want to get off my chest, too. When your mother died, I did the best I could with you. Things used to be pretty good between us, remember? A man and his boy can drift out of sympathy. Get to look at things all wrong. Bobby, when I was in grade school, our teacher used to write a Latin phrase in the blackboard every morning. Ad astra per aspera. And the stars are far away. We were taught to shoot at them. We were taught to compete, not to conform. We made a long-term deal with ourselves to stand on our own 2 feet and keep reaching always. It didn't matter whether we caught hold of a star or not, as long as you kept trying. There's a sickness loose in society today. A belief that it's more important getting along with people than getting along with your own destiny. Bobby, it's harder to live with success than it is to live with failure. Thank God I always knew what I wanted. You know where I went wrong with you? I concentrated on your character instead of your personality. You can't forgive me for trying to make you different.
You're wrong. I'm grateful to you. You made me different, that's true. Different from you. And that's why I'm grateful. Because I'm the luckiest kid in the world to have you for a dad. Because you're the exact model of everything I never want to be.
Mr. Staber, Mr. Marsati's outside.
Well?
No peg. Nothing to hang a hat on it. None of the boys can even get started.
They threw acid in that kid's face, Julio. You hear me? Acid.
Look, Eddie, I've got every gun in town on the prowl. But you can't make a hit unless you got your boy fingered, you know? The trouble is these guys are amateurs. Nobody ever heard of them. So where do you look? Have you tried the cops?
Very funny.
Okay. It was an idea, that's all. Well, I'll keep the pot boiling.
No. Call your boys off.
Huh?
You're even with me, Julio. You don't owe me anymore.
How does a guy figure you? You're not with us. You're not with the law. Who are you with?
See you around, Julien.
Sure. Anytime, Eddie.
Yeah?
Look, Staver, enough is enough. I mean, people can get hurt. Okay, it's now 10 past 10. At 1 o'clock, we're going to do business. At 1 o'clock, you're going to be at the mobile gas station at 62nd and York. You're going to be alone. At 5 past 1, the pay telephone's going to ring. Pick it up. Then we're going to tell you where the drop is going to be made. Now, the drop has to be made no later than 1:20. If it is, your son will live.
My son?
That's right. You're going to have him at the northwest corner of 30th Street and 2nd Avenue at 1 o'clock. If he moves off that corner before 1:30, he gets killed.
If you think... Bobby! I want to see you! Bobby! Tell my son to get up here right away.
He left, sir.
Left? Where'd he go?
He didn't say.
There's not much else to tell, Lieutenant, except I know Dad won't do it. He thinks if you go along with anyone, you're weak. If you cooperate, you got no spine. Okay, maybe I can show him there's another side to things. You tell him that I'll be standing on the corner of 30th and 2nd Avenue between 1 and 1:30.
Like it or not, Staver, you're going to have to throw in with us now. Your son set himself up as a pigeon on a downtown street corner.
What'd he do a stupid thing like that for? What's he trying to prove?
He's trying to prove he loves you, and this is no time to be pig-headed about it. Now, you have 5 minutes to get over to that gas station and take that call when it comes in. Leave a note in the booth telling us where you're supposed to make the drop, and we'll tell you.
My son's in danger, and you want me to pick up a phone call? You pick it up. I'm going to get my boy off that corner.
Listen, Staver, I have men all over that area. But if they go near him and make one wrong move, he's given neither of us any choice. Now, we better make that drop and try to grab the extortionist. That way we can force him to call off his killer.
Who calls out the killer now?
We do.
don't you show yourself? Come on out and show yourself to me. Well, go ahead. Go ahead. You want somebody to shoot? Go ahead, shoot me.
Hold it.
Get on the radio, Frank. Be glad he's tough, lad. He'll need all his strength today.
It was the only way. You understand, don't you? Don't you, Dad? You understand?
Like he said, he's a fellow who doesn't like to duck.
I've got a feeling he'll bounce back fast. It's more than a gun wound that'll be patched up today. You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah.
It's funny, though, you know. When it's all over, you look up the place it almost happened, and you say to yourself, that's where I might have died today.
I know the feeling, man.
There are 8 million stories in the Naked City. This has been one of them.